Hey everybody, it's Judy Klock. I'm having technical difficulties again tonight. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I'm here. We are going to do the Playful Ghosts stamp set tonight because it's September and I'm looking forward to Halloween. So I hope that you'll enjoy this tutorial and that you'll be inspired to try these cards for yourself. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at what we're doing. And I apologize. I changed some lighting in here. I thought it would be better, but we're still kind of working on getting the lighting situation in the studio right. But this is our first card. It's just a simple little fun fold. We got that little playful ghost. We're going to do a little bit of coloring. We've got some Wink of Stella on there, and then it's just a little fun fold that's just going to reveal a little sentiment inside. And then we've got another really fun one. And this is just really stepped up only because we're using the die cuts. We're using the Nested Essentials die set to create this card. But again, it's pretty easy, very minimal, like no color. We're just going to stamp and use our Wink of Stella, because I think as ghosts, they should have a little bit of a shimmery, scary effect. Hey, Joan, how are you today? So this is our stamp set. This is one of the new online exclusives. You'll notice in the mini catalog that dropped yesterday, there wasn't any Halloween items at all in it, and really very few fall items. Most of the Halloween are on the online exclusives, including the Playful Ghosts. And there is a new, if you're a scrapbooker, there is a new, hey, Claudette, I can't believe you made it. There is a new scrapbooking kit for Halloween that is on there. So go ahead and take a look at that. It's got some really pretty Halloween themed paper and some stickers. You know, my kids are all grown, so I don't really have a need for the Halloween one anymore, but it really is cute. So, you know, if you're doing scrapbooks for your kids, your grandkids, or just you've got old pictures you want to scrapbook, take a look at that. I think it's worthwhile. So that was our stamp set. And then this is the Nested Essential dies. I don't know if you've seen this one, but I'm going to show you. So I used these to cut out the squares or the rectangles for my images on my black basic black card. I used the second largest die, and I just cut it out of the 3 cardstocks, which you'll go over. But this is a great sort of all-purpose die set. So if you don't have this one, you probably want to add this one to your stash because it's really just really very useful. So let's go ahead. Let's get started. So our card base is Petunia Pop. I wanted to do the Halloween colors like purple and orange, but I didn't really want to use Gorgeous Grape and Pumpkin Pie. I wanted something a little bit different. So I went with Petunia Pop and Peach Pie. So it's sort of keeping with my Halloween colors, but I've just kind of muted them just a little bit with the kind of like these softer colors, but I think it works out okay. So our card base is Petunia Pop. It's 8.5 by 5.5. I have scored it at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. That gives us that little Z fold. Then we have our basic white for the inside. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And don't worry about writing these measurements down. They will be in the corresponding blog post that will be up by the end of the weekend. I've got a piece of Peach Pie designer series paper here. This is just 5 1/4 by 1/2 inch. And then I've got 2 pieces of the Petunia Pop cardstock that is 5 1/4 by 1 7/8. So let's go ahead. Let's get started. Let's do our stamping and then we can assemble and color. So on the inside, I'm going to stamp Boo, the word Boo, because it's trick or treat on the outside. So we're going to give them a trick on this one and say Boo and not say Happy Halloween. You know, because sometimes you got to throw a trick in there. And then I just love this little bat image. So I'm just going to kind of stamp this on the inside just because I think he's so cute. Okay, and then I wanted to stamp some of these pumpkins, and we will go ahead and color these in a minute. But let's get all of our stamping done. Right now we're going to stamp the ghost coming out of the pumpkin on our piece of basic white. This is 2 by 2 1/4. And again, all of these will be on the website for you. Well, Joan, I'm glad that you're doing okay. We're doing okay here too. Weather's been really beautiful lately. All right, and then we're just going to stamp. Now, I did use old punches for these. They're retired, but I used 1¼ inches and 1½ inches. So if you have old punches, or if you have the die cuts, you can certainly just go ahead and cut them on those, or you could actually just use square pieces of paper. Okay, we got trick or treat. Okay, let us close up our ink pad first, because you know that I tend to make a mess with the ink pad. So let's close that up. Make sure I didn't get any ink on my fingers, because I have a tendency to do that. All right, let's start with our inside piece. So I'm going to color this pumpkin. Now I've brought out my peach pie and my pumpkin pie Stampin' markers, Stampin' blends rather. And I'm going to start off by coloring my pumpkins with my light peach pie. That's light pumpkin pie, light peach pie. Okay. I'm going to take my brush tip and I'm just going to really kind of quickly go over my pumpkins. Again, you don't have to be super careful. The blends are pretty easy to work with and pretty forgiving. So we're just going to go ahead and color this. Right, we're going to add a little bit of color to our pumpkins. And I think this coloring really just kind of just adds so much. And it's so easy. Don't be afraid of coloring. I am not an artist by any stretch of the imagination. I couldn't draw a straight line literally without a ruler. But I don't mind coloring. So I'm going to take the dark peach pie and I'm just going to kind of outline some of the ribs on the pumpkin to just kind of maybe give it a little depth. Okay, see how I'm just kind of going over them, not really doing too much. This gives it just a little bit of a shadow, a little bit of just I don't know, a little bit more interest. Okay, I might go a little bit deeper there. Now I've got some old olive, and I am going to just color my stems and my leaf with the old olive. And again, this was just to give some interest to the inside of the card, because sometimes with just that memento tuxedo black, it can get a little boring. So, okay, not an artist by any stretch of the imaginations, but I think my pumpkins came out pretty good. And you can see that just by using that other second color of the blend, you've already added a little bit of shading. So if I can do it, trust me, you can do it. All right, same thing with our pumpkin. I'm going to take, now you know how the inside of the pumpkin is usually a little bit lighter than the outside. I'm going to take and I'm going to color these pieces with the light peach pie. Okay, and see where the eyes are, because when you cut those, you kind of see the inside, that inside fleshy part. And then I'm going to come back with our dark peach pie. Okay. It seems kind of wrong to be coloring a pumpkin with peach pie, doesn't it? But it'll be okay. Trust me. It'll be okay. So I don't really have a lot of kids that I send Halloween cards to. I have a few of younger great nephews and nieces. But this was just such a fun place it's such a fun stamp set that I wanted to get it and just have some fun with it. And I'm sure that I can find somebody to send these cards to. Might send one to my mother-in-law just for fun, see what she thinks. We sometimes forget, sometimes the older folks just like to get mail. So just, doesn't have to be all, sophisticated. Sometimes you can just send them something a little playful, because who doesn't like to feel young at heart, right? We all want to feel like we're young at heart. So what about you? Do you have people that you send Halloween cards to? Let me know in the comments what you do. If you send cards for Halloween, if you don't. Okay. And you'll notice I'm being careful to keep the eyes and the mouth white, because to me, that means the ghost who's popping up out of the pumpkin would actually show through those openings. So we're going to color them. Well, not color them. We're going to run some Wink of Stella over that white area. Okay. So again, I've got my pumpkin on. I am going to color the stem again. I've got my old olive here. I think I'm using dark here. Okay, got that. I'm going to come back in with the light pumpkin pie and just kind of go over the dark peach pie, just to make this a little bit darker so that you can really see the difference between the inside and the outside of that pumpkin. Okay, and again, I'm not even going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to kind of go around it a little bit because I just want to add some shadows and some shades. Okay, so we're just gonna have some fun with it. Okay, now there we go. That's good. All right, now this is really silly because I know it's a ghost, but he's got that little tongue in there. So I'm going to use, I picked Pretty in Pink, light Pretty in Pink. I'm just going to kind of dot in the tongue, right? And then for the back of the mouth, I figured, well, it's a ghost. So we're just going to go with some dark smoky slate and just kind of color that in. All right. Now I'm going to come back in with my Wink of Stella because while this dries, and remember, when you start it, never start it right on your card. Start it somewhere else. Like I like to start it actually on my silicone mat because it cleans up really easily. But this way, if you get like a big blop that comes out, you don't ruin your project. So I'm just going to go ahead and just quickly add some Wink of Stella. And then while this dries, we will put this card together. Okay, but isn't this fun? Just how our ghosts are just going to shimmer. I love Wink of Stella. I think it's such a great way to add a little bit of sparkle without a lot of mess. And you know, my room right now, my studio is in total chaos because we're getting ready for Stampalooza. So I'm putting all the packages together. Stuff is coming in. It's a complete mess. Joan, honestly, thank you. But I don't know what I'm doing with coloring. I really don't. I mean, I just literally kind of just slap the color on there. I mean, that's no special talent at all. Give it a try. I'm sure that you will actually be better than you think because I have absolutely no special talent for it. And a lot of times I think my coloring looks, kind of funky. I think we are always our own worst critic, right? We always think people are so impressed by what we do and we're like, wasn't that good? I had a mistake here and I had a mistake here and I had a mistake here. And it's I think you're probably better than you actually give yourself credit for. So just keep trying. Just have fun and play. That's the best way to do it. Is just have fun and play. And then you'll end up learning. All right, we're going to go ahead and layer up all of our stuff. So this is peach pie. It's going on the little square of petunia pop. What do you think of this color combo? Do you like it? Do you not like it? I think it kind of works. I was happy with it. All right, let's add our designer series paper. I'm going to add one to each side of these. Put that over there. I want my Wink of Stella to dry. So one of the reasons I punched out the circles is because the designer series paper has these great circles on it. And I just thought it would kind of pick up on the rest of the, kind of blend in with the DSP. But again, you don't have to, if you don't have circle dies or punches, you know what? Use what you have. It's all about using what you have. Getting out there, having fun. Crafting and creating is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be stressful. Nothing has to be perfect. When you're making handmade items, nothing is perfect. Literally, even in nature, nothing is perfect. So don't stress about it. Just have fun. You notice me, a lot of times I eyeball stuff and it's not always straight. And I'm like, all right, good enough. All right, so now here's my little trick. I lay this sort of down here because I want it to go here. Right? But I want to put my dimensionals on this piece. So I just kind of lay this down so I know like where the top and bottom will hit so I can put my dimensionals in a spot where I know they're not going to go above or below my piece that I'm attaching to them. So there we go. That's my little trick. Now I know when I go to put this on, my dimensionals will not be seen. We'll put him right there. How great is that? We'll just kind of put this together. I can't use my mouse, will not actually adhere it. I actually have to use adhesive. I went to go pick up my adhesive and I picked up my computer mouse. And then I'm just going to pop 2 dimensionals on here. Okay. Oop. And then we've got that. I'm just going to put that right there. And that is our card number 1. So, I mean, it's just a quick, little, easy, fun fold. You like anything purple? Is that your color? Claudette, I bet you can color. I will challenge every one of you to try coloring this week. And I bet you will be better than you thought. It's not hard. I know it can be intimidating, but it is truly not hard. Okay, so for our next one, we've got our basic black. It's 11 by 4 1/4. I have scored it at 5 1/2. I have my basic white on the inside. And on this one, we're going to stamp Happy Halloween. And again, I'm going to use my little bats because I just love those bats. I just think they're so stinking cute. All right, I got my Happy Halloween. Where are my bats? That's a boo. I have too many little blocks with stamps on them. But, oh yeah. Okay, there we go. See, again, I got ink on my white. I try to be so careful, and I always end up making a mess. You know what? I'm going to flip this over because that's going to drive me bonkers. Let's try this one more time. Rewind. Woo! Let's go back and try it again. All right. I'm going to stamp a Happy Halloween and hopefully not get black ink anywhere but where we want it stamped. Okay. I'm going to come in here with the bats again. See, that's why paper has 2 sides. All right. And there we go. Okay. Now we're going to stamp one of the images, one of the ghost images on each one of these little rectangles. So I'm going to do the witch on the broom on the green. I don't know why. Oh, that wasn't so good, but that'll be all right. I'm going to do the ghost with the pumpkin on the orange because, you know, pumpkins. And then we have the vampire, the vampire ghost. And we're going to do him on the Highland Heather. All right. Okay. Literally it for stamping. And then I've got this little tiny flag here. And we're going to stamp Trick or Treat on this. And again, all of these die cuts are from the Nested Essentials pack. Okay, Trick or Treat. That's a little crooked, but we'll make it work. All right. Let me just, somehow, I got to clean those covers. I think the ink is on the edges of the covers, and that's where it's coming from. But I think, all right, I think we're ink free. Hopefully we're ink free. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start assembling. And again, all of these dimensions for all of these pieces will be on my blog post by the end of this weekend. I'll try to have it up tomorrow, but I make no promises. I get distracted, like pulled in 14 different directions every day. Oh, you know what we forgot to do? We forgot to put Wink of Stella on them, but we can actually do those when they're on the card. So, oh, he wasn't quite dry. Let's put him down here. Okay, we're going to come in with our little pumpkin ghost. And we're going to put him right here. Okay. Then we got our witch. And she is going to go up here. And then we've got our Trick or Treat. And I'm going to actually pop this up on some mini dimensionals because it's kind of a small piece. All right. Let's see. We'll put that right up there. And now let's go. Let's just color our ghosts with the Wink of Stella. And I literally am just going to do the ghosts. So nothing else is going to get Wink of Stella, just the ghost bodies, so to speak. I guess they don't really have bodies, but the portion of the ghost that would be a body had they had bodies. So like not the broom and their capes and stuff, but the rest of them. So I guess it's not really a ghost body, but for the purposes of this demonstration, this tutorial, that's what we're going to call them. And again, I'm going to put the Wink of Stella on the like here in the eyes and the mouth, because again, if he's popping up out of it, he would actually be showing through it. So he's probably the easiest one to color. There's not a lot I got to work around. He almost looks like a cactus, doesn't he? The way he's, with the little arms and stuff. He just reminds me of a cactus. Probably make him like a desert ghost, a cactus ghost. Okay, and then we've got this one. So again, I'm not a big Halloween fan, but I saw this and I just thought it was too cute to not get, and make a few cute little cards for the youngins. And that's it. We're done. So we've got our 2 cards, right? We've got our fun fold that we did a little bit of coloring on. And then we've got our, I don't know if it's not really stepped up. I guess the only reason it would be stepped up is because we use those die cuts. But I would say this is almost more like a simple stamping card, because all we did was stamp those images on those die cut color swatches, color blocks, and just made a really colorful card. So that is it. Thanks, Claudette. I'm glad that you liked it. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. If you are here catching it on replay, please let me know that you are here on replay. Just put hashtag replay and let me know where you're tuning in from. I'd love to know where everybody is coming in from. That's it for me for tonight. Next week, we're going to start getting into a little bit of holiday mode with some of the new ephemera packs that are out. So we're going to be working with some of those to show you how to do some really quick and easy holiday cards. So I'll see you back here next week at 7:30. That's it for me. Have a great evening, everybody. Have a great weekend. Happy stamping. Bye.